We've got lots to talk about today, guys, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, this UFO sighting was taken on October 12th in Lima, Peru. Yeah, it all comes back to Peru, guys. At least so much of it does, but just a phenomenal sighting of, a fleet of UFOs or something. I mean, let me know if you think those are drones or something like that. Always possible. But it looks like a pretty great sighting of a large number of UFOs. Now, if this is legit, I would expect multiple people to have filmed this from different angles. So hopefully we'll get some of that in the days ahead to corroborate that these aren't drones or something, which, obviously is always a possibility these days. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. And if you've seen any other angles on this sighting, or if you've seen it debunked as drones, let me know in the comments below. Meanwhile, this is really cool news. Dr. Beatrice Villarroel, who I've covered before, well, her findings are now peer-reviewed. She says, wonderful news. Our 2 new Vasco papers are now peer-reviewed, accepted, and published, and they reveal some extraordinary things. We find statistically significant correlations between short-lived transients on pre-Sputnik sky plates, UFO sightings, and above-ground nuclear tests. We show a 22, whatever that character is, deficit of transients inside Earth's shadow, consistent with a fraction of these events originating from solar reflections from flat, highly reflective surfaces in orbit before the human space age began. Together with our earlier MNRAS paper, these results form a triptych of new methods to investigate UAP using astronomical data. Yeah, they found a bunch of UFOs from historical images. So really great that they are able to get this not just published, but peer-reviewed. Hats off, Beatrice. That is awesome. That is really a milestone. I mean, that's a huge step forward and, the mainstream acceptance of UFOs. I think George Knapp has something similar to say. Let's see. Where's George's comments on that? Yeah. Congrats to Dr. Beatrice Villarreal. She has faced hostile opposition to her work at every step, but persevered and has now made 2 substantial breakthroughs, the profound implications of her research in overcoming anti-UFO stigma within science journals. Yeah, that's just wild, guys. We have a peer-reviewed paper, 1 or 2 on the Nazca mummies, and now we have peer-reviewed papers on these historical UFOs, potentially hinting at a network of orbital UFOs that may or may not still be here. Patrick Jackson will say, yep, they're still here, all part of his same network. Maybe connected, to the Boogosphere, who knows. But really, really interesting stuff and now accepted, at least peer-reviewed in a mainstream scientific publication. So hats off. Meanwhile, some interesting things are going on with 3i Atlas, as related by Christina Gomez. And I'll let you watch her full video, but to give you a teaser of what she's talking about.
Time when NASA is still withholding critical information and high-resolution photos about 3i Atlas, with theories and speculation reaching all over the place, a new document circulating online is making huge waves. According to a report from Dr. Lacia Varon, a signal analyst with a dual-spectrum telescope in Chile, and an anonymous doctor who is a lead observer operating a 16-inch optical telescope in India, 3i Atlas just transmitted the Fibonacci sequence. Not once, but in a repeated coordination pattern. 8, 13, 8, 5, 13, 8. This is the same mathematical sequence found in DNA, hurricanes, and spiral galaxies. 2 observations separated by over 15,000 kilometers detected these pulses simultaneously, ruling out atmospheric interference or equipment malfunction.
Yeah, I'll let you watch the full video at your leisure. A great video, and hats off to Christina for a great report. But there you go, another very anomalous characteristic of 3i Atlas, potentially sending out an intelligent signal of the Fibonacci sequence, which I actually talked about just the other day in connection to the Nazca mummies. Fascinating. So, yeah, is it a spaceship? Whoa. Whoa, guys. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that. That is incredible, incredible stuff. Meanwhile, a friend of the channel, Peter Maxwell Slattery, who's been on several times, well, he met with Ross Coulthart and they did some CE5 together. Here Ross is with a great screenshot, as always. He was asked about CE5, and here's what he had to say.
And have I done it? I've certainly tried it. I haven't done it successfully. In fact, I've been a miserable failure. But I certainly have witnessed it. I've witnessed it now twice. I saw it only about probably 7 or 8 weeks ago in northern Victoria at a place called Rutherglen, in a place called Jaya Sanctuary, run by an Australian called Peter Maxwell Slattery. And it's quite funny, actually. Peter said to me during the daytime, he said, I've got a feeling we're going to see stuff tonight. And we were standing in darkness, looking out probably to the west from his beautiful property. And as we were standing there, he was meditating and inviting them to come. And he's done a lot of work like this at Mount Shasta in California. And I was skeptical, to be perfectly honest, and maybe my skepticism's part of the problem. But as I watched, there were clearly dots that became orbs that moved closer and closer towards us, in some cases hovered just behind trees, probably no more than a few hundred feet in front of us. And I can't explain it. They were moving erratically. They weren't satellites, they weren't planes, they weren't drones, they weren't fireflies, they weren't birds. They were some kind of object that appeared to respond intelligently to Peter's invitations for them to come closer.
Yeah, Peter's legit, and I can't wait to get down to Jaya Sanctuary someday. I'm so glad that Ross was able to get out there, and that he was able to confirm and corroborate Peter's amazing abilities to interact with the phenomenon. I actually went to a UFO Skywatch just a few days ago. I was at that same place of high strangeness that I went to a couple of months ago. We're on the way home, an orb buzzed my car. It was amazing. I didn't get an orb buzzing my car this time, but we were joined by a guy named Nick who lives here locally in the College Station area. And he is one of these people who can invite the UFOs in. And he invited them in, and they came. And it was a fantastic event. I'm actually hoping to interview Nick in the near future. So hopefully that'll happen, and I might be able to share some of his videos. But yeah, there's people out there that can do this, and they have a close connection to the phenomenon. And Peter Slattery is definitely one of them. Kudos to him for having this validation from Ross, and kudos to Ross for getting out there. That is awesome. And speaking of Peter Maxwell Slattery, here's one of the orbs that he was able to invite over Jaya Sanctuary. Check this out.
Is it just me on this, or are you guys, is it really quick, is it?
It's really quick. Yeah.
It is quick.
There's only sort of jumping.
There's a satellite crossing behind it.
It's a satellite, so that, and then there's a
yeah, there's two.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it's like
Great sighting of a very fast-moving object in the sky. I love it. I think that a fantastic capture. Speaking of Ross, he might be getting into the Nazca mummies.
From X, Ross has hinted he's going to Peru. He thought about seeing the non-human tridactyl corpses available for research at the University of Inca.
Great question. Yes, I am going to Peru, Bolivia, and Easter Island in about 3 or 4 weeks. Really excited to do that. I host tours occasionally. I was in Egypt last year. And yes, I will be bringing you whatever I can from Bolivia, Peru, and Easter Island on the megalithic mysteries there, including, I hope, on a story related to the tridactyls. I've been in touch with Thierry Yamin, who's one of the more prominent investigators into this issue. And yes, I do hope to bring you something on this, I hope, relatively soon.
Cool. I'm glad that he's meeting Thierry Jamon. That's awesome. Good on Gonzalo for asking that question. And yeah, good on Ross for going down there. I can't wait what he thinks about the Nazca mummies. I kind of hope that he's more open to the little guys and some of the other species than some other people. I mean, there are multiple entire species or subspecies of the Nazca mummies that are just jaw-dropping and nuts. Like these guys, these little, they're called the insectoids. Often they have these little wing-like appendages on them. And some believe they may have been, they may have walked on all fours, which is fascinating. Were they intelligent? What were these guys? I don't know, but there's a good number of these bodies clearly indicating they're a distinct subspecies. So, yeah, I want people to take the little guys seriously because they are just as real as the human-sized ones. Meanwhile, Ronnie Vernet says that animals found dead without any blood in Brazil. The chupacabra is back, guys, or something is back. Mysterious attacks are alarming ranchers. On October 12th, 18 chickens were discovered dead. No signs of predators, just small punctures on their necks and no blood left, as if it had been drained. Yeah, so much stuff going on in South America. I guess these are the drained chickens. Was this an animal mutilation? They're often found exsanguinated. I didn't hear about any organs removed or anything, which is common in mutilations, but not always. What's going on here? Is this the chupacabra? Is this a mutilation? Is this, kids messing around? I don't see any blood littering the ground, which seems to indicate, if this is where they were killed, that the blood was drained away. So let me know what you think's going on there. Meanwhile, Ana Paulina Luna speaks about the troubles that UFO whistleblower Dylan Borland faced when he decided to come forward.
Another individual Borland, I think is his last name, he actually faced a lot of retribution for coming forward on this. So they try they try to go after his VA medical history, all of that. And we actually saw
who went after it?
Whoever these people are, like people within the government. But that's not the first time that we had a vet have their records leaked or attacked after coming forward.
Yeah, it's good that Congress people are talking about this and that they're aware of the retribution that whistleblowers face. I hope they're able to do something about it. And I think that when they are able to do that, we'll see a lot more whistleblowers coming forward, including people that are actually participants of the UFO crash retrieval and reverse engineering programs. Yeah, and speaking of Dylan Borland, he talked about seeing a UFO outside the NASA hangar at Langley. Well, in the video by Christina Gomez, she talks about NASA covering stuff up, potentially related to 3I Atlas. And she plays a video clip of Ross Coulthart that I've played before, where Ross says that, yeah, he actually witnessed firsthand NASA cutting a live feed, because that's the allegation that they cut a live feed regarding 3I Atlas. So NASA's in this deep, which is very interesting. And I just wanted to put that out there because we're talking about Dylan Borland, NASA, and 3I Atlas. But hey, don't be alarmed by any of this. Just get a cat and he'll chase your blues away. Let me know what you think about this amazing cat. Look at that cat go. My God. Love it. Let me know what you think about this amazing cat and everything else covered today in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road, buy some merch in the merch store. There's hoodies and coffee mugs and stuff. Become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.